Hey everybody, CVH here, and today on the ladder we'll be playing a bit of Midrange Archer, a long-loved deck that I decided to queue a couple games with at Legend for the end of the season grind. And the list we're playing today is Ines, and I did take out two cards, the Pomerot Renegade and the Murkwater Shaman, third copy of each, for 2 copies of Triumphant Jarl, just because I was playing against a lot of control decks recently, particularly Control Mage, and I wanted to make sure I had a couple copies of Jarl because they're just so good when you're moving into the later stages of the game against those decks. The rest of the list is just his, and as you can see, it is a Unstoppable Rage list, so we are playing the Child of Hercene and the Pomerot Renegades, which are 2 cards that take crazy advantage of the Unstoppable Rage, along with our other breakthrough cards, Belligerent Giants and Tazkads that we're already playing. Everything else, it's not one of those slower Unstoppable Rage decks that you may be used to seeing. This is a more traditional list, as you can see. Without the rages and a couple of the cards I just mentioned, it would look pretty normal. So maybe people won't exactly know that we're playing Unstoppable Rage, and this is kind of where I felt in the beginning that Unstoppable Rage might fit. So I'm really liking his list a lot. Adding the Jarl just for a tech, but overall it seems like it works really well, so hopefully you guys enjoy looking at some gameplay of it at Legend, and if you do, feel free to leave a like, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more gameplay content and Legends videos of all kinds, follow my stream in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy some Midrange Archer on the ladder. So obviously here we keep Ungolem. Against certain matchups, we'd like the Rapid Shot as well. We definitely don't want Curse. Would rather have Goblin Skulk. Would rather a 2-drop than Rapid Shot, so I'll be shipping it. Got the Skulk, pretty much ideal.
The Night Mother will guide us.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
Obviously, the one ideal thing that we don't have is not having the Ring of Magicka. I guess we can make him do the attacks.
As long as I draw a breath.
2 ring charges down. And I guess we play Thieves Guild Recruit to contest the 3-1.
What have we here?
As long as I draw a breath. I like our odds.
All of the ring charges down. Perfect draw.
I lurk in the shadows, waiting.
Thanks, Ungolem.
Just give me a name.
So annoying for him. It trades with his 4-drop. I love it. I do. We don't really have anything good to do this turn, though, so I guess we start with Shadow Shift. And yeah, I mean, we don't want to use Leaf Lurker on just developing the board raw. We already have something on the boards.
It's nothing personal.
Options are plenty for next turn, though. If I keep it over here, I get to keep the field lane. There's definitely some merit to playing Shadow Shift here and trying to find either another Assassin or like a 2 or 3-drop, obviously. But I think since we already have the board, I'm just going to go ahead and save the Shift for maybe a later usage. Oh, we would have found the Assassin. So savage. Now I'm actually kind of mad that I didn't do it. I can't play the Assassin this turn either. Gotta play Leaf Lurker and Rapid Shot. I don't want to sacrifice this just to play another 3-3. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's nothing personal.
Well, we'll see if this changes anything.
Let none defile our temple.
Does give us more insight into his deck, which is apparently slower. He is going to be able to trade with that.
The forest is my cloak.
Perhaps we were meant to let him decide which to trade with. He's probably already trading with that anyway. I don't know. Oh, it's just a bit of Magicka from what I want to do. Shadow Shift and Child are, like, it's a fine play, but it probably gets jabbed. But I guess it's fine too, because we have a lot of reload. Since we're playing the Jarls, and the Assassins are just glued to my hand, so that's definitely good news for me. We don't really need to start cycling yet. Alright, there's the Jav. Nothing too out of ordinary there.
Dumont, take you! Dumont, take you!
I don't want to give him too good of a Dawn's Wrath. I want my Slayer in the right. Or my Lethal, excuse me. It's not a Brotherhood Slayer, it's a Brotherhood Assassin.
I lurk in the shadows, waiting.
Tazkad's good. It's looking juicy next turn.
What have we here?
Yeah, then I'll just play 3 and 2 in the right.
Give me a name.
Of course I'm on your side.
I want a Dawn's Wrath for most things on the board, so I'll put him in the same lane as his Hive Defender. I'm liking Tazkad into that. We could also curse and deal 1 more damage and keep this healthy at a 6-6 instead of a 6-4, but it's kind of a waste, I think.
My scales in shadow. Take you.
5 damage versus 6 damage should be relatively similar here. It doesn't matter if Tazkad is damaged or not in this matchup. And you're still splitting the lanes for future Dawn's Wraths or Immolating Blasts. Immolating Blast would kind of be unfortunate if the Thieves Guild lived, but I haven't seen an Immolating Blast in a long time. We can guarantee this by cursing our own Leaf Lurker. Well, no, it's awkward. Wait, no, it's not. We still have it. Right.
Dumont, take you. My scales in shadow.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
Obviously, I could have just cursed my Leaf Lurker, used this to clear Hive Defender, and I'd have 1 more thing on the board, but if we're killing him that turn, it doesn't matter if we take the favorable trade or not. Alright, Trader with the ring, seems fine with me. It's about all that seems fine in that hand.
Of course I'm on your side.
Could mean he has a Firebolt. If I had a Skaven, I would Skaven down. At least if he has Firebolt, the Skulk will allow us to, well, if he chooses to Firebolt this, we can use the Curse on the 2-1 if we ever need to get by it easily. If he only has 1 Firebolt and no Executes, it's kind of between a rock and a hard place. Both of these are really annoying. Either pushing a lot of damage or filtering and getting me a lot of curses for free. We'll see what he chooses to do. He could just have no Firebolts and no Executes and no Lightning Bolts, and that'd be a nice day for me. Little optimistic. Little optimistic.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
So he's the more aggressive version of Mage.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
So when you're trying to curse Earthbone something, the important thing to do is to not curse first. Because if you do that, the Earthbone will silence before it deals the damage, and the silence will remove the curse effect. And needless to say, you'll be pretty disappointed in yourself. I may know that from personal experience. I think we'll just be Cliff Racering into that. With the 3-2, of course. Well, after I do the whole thing where I use the Ring of Magica. I mean, we could also just double trade as it is. And play the Shaman on the right. Or double trade and play Pomerat on the left. I mean, makes it weak to a Lightning Bolt. I don't like the plays that make me overly weak to Javelin. The Pomerot really is good.
The day is mine.
I don't think there's a reason to curse, because if it stays there I get to cycle, and if it doesn't he's probably trading it in so I don't get the cycle. Unless he has Lightning Bolt I don't really care. Even then, maybe the Skulk lives, and that's good enough for me, I guess. Tough turn though, a lot of different options. If I look at this game later I'll probably think of a good reason to not do that one. If I were up against Control Mage I would take a more aggressive line here, because he would have no problem playing the defensive role. Clearly, he's a more aggressive strategy, and making him play the more defensive role is not what his deck wants to be doing, and we will probably win that long game with just threat after threat. But against Control Mage, I would have done it differently.
We'll hold, no matter what.
Not cursing does open up to East March, which I didn't really consider. Also not the biggest deal ever. Well, we'll have another curse in our hands after we attack with Skulk, so let's just... Oh, wait. That's the tough one, right? Like, do we draw a card and risk drawing the third curse, or do we hit here and risk a Javelin killing that? It's really only Javelin that would matter here. Okay, good.
Unsheath your clothes.
I think we can play a somewhat slow game. The important thing is that we're not behind in life, so you can't play Golden Saint if he is playing it in the deck. I know some have taken Golden Saint, none of these more aggressive mages, but I have to imagine a lot of them are still playing it. Regardless, it is something we should consider. Damn. So many Daggerfall mages. And I only have one curse. It's not enough. I don't even really think I care about them. It's still kind of annoying for him to be trading. So I think I'll just face, play Child in the right. No more searches, unfortunately. Then if he starts popping his own wards trying to trade with my board, I could always Shadow Shift over and clean sweep it all with Hersine.
Shall take you. Shall take you.
Midrange Giant, large and in charge. Kind of want to play it just because it's the biggest thing I could play. I could also go Cliff Racer, Thieves Guild.
What have we here?
It's a pretty good reduction. Tazkad is so good. I'd be shocked and appalled if you were playing Dawn's Wrath in this deck. That said, I think we're still in a good position to win, even if that horrible Dawn's Wrath came to fruition.
Yours.